Hello, and welcome to Liberia, West Africa, home to over 5 million souls, of whom approximately 20,000 are deaf. This is one of those deaf. Her name is Secret. She was 7 years old when we met and didn't even know her own name, nor had she ever heard a clear presentation of the gospel because she'd never been taught her own language, sign language. God used this sweet little girl with minimal language to break my heart for the people of Liberia, but especially for the deaf of Liberia. He used her and many others to place a desire in my heart to bring deaf people who didn't even know their own name to an intimate knowledge of Jesus Christ, whose name is above every name. Hi, I'm Carrie Whaley, missionary to Liberia, West Africa. I was saved at an early age and grew up in my sending church, Faith Missionary Baptist Church, in the small town of Trenton, North Carolina. God has been preparing me for this work my entire life. He has provided many ministry opportunities to work with children, teens, and adults in my local church community all across the U.S. and even in other countries. For a while, I thought God would use me as a medical missionary and have been a registered nurse for nearly 10 years. This past year, I taught 9th through 12th grade science at a local Christian school and gained invaluable experience. Every opportunity God has provided and obstacle I've faced have been steps toward preparing me for His work in Liberia. One of the largest unreached people groups in the world is the deaf and people who are deaf and have been deprived of language, people who are deaf and have special needs, people who are deaf and have been abandoned, abused, or neglected. Jesus did not shy away from the outcasts of society. Actually, He often went out of His way to show love and compassion to those considered to be the least of the least and the lowest of the low. God has called me to reach the outcasts and the forgotten in Liberia. How will we accomplish this? By teaching, training, and deploying Liberians to reach their own people. Through teaching sign language to the deaf for the purpose of sharing the gospel with them, teaching sign language to hearing families and friends in hopes that they too will be saved and will become leaders in reaching the deaf for Christ, and teaching literacy classes so that deaf and hearing can read the Word of God for themselves. Through training, discipleship is key to the growth and sustainability of any ministry. For this reason, I will strive to deliberately disciple willing learners, train Liberian Christians, hearing and deaf, to reach, teach, and train other Liberians, and assist local churches in establishing and growing deaf ministries. It is our prayer that this would truly be a 2 Timothy 2:2 ministry, where those who have been trained are deployed into the surrounding villages, counties, and countries to fulfill the Great Commission. My team and I are excited to take on the challenges of laboring in Liberia. My teammates include Bruce and Amanda Stewart, who desire to train deaf Liberian men to be teachers, evangelists, pastors, and church-planting missionaries to their own people, and Monique Lindsay, who specializes in teaching those with special needs. We are all sent by a local church and aided by Silent Word Ministries. Silent Word was founded by Dr. Ted and Carlene Camp in 1966 with a focus on evangelizing and discipling the deaf in the U.S. In 2004, Silent Word partnered with David and Vicki Bennett to reach the deaf around the world through Silent Word Ministries International. Please pray for Team Liberia as we seek to share the gospel with the last, the least, and the lost in Liberia and beyond.